Have you ever spent a whole weekend meticulously crafting the perfect budget only to find it completely derailed by Wednesday? You're not alone. So many of us pour our energy into creating these beautiful, color-coded spreadsheets, convinced that this time, this is the one that will finally stick. And then, life happens. A surprise car repair, an impromptu dinner with friends, or just that irresistible sale on something you've been eyeing. Suddenly, your perfect plan is in shambles, and you're left feeling frustrated, maybe even a little guilty, wondering, why does my budget always fail? Well, today we're going to pull back the curtain on this common struggle, and I'll let you in on a secret. It's probably not because you lack willpower or discipline. The problem often lies in the budget itself and the way we're taught to think about budgeting. We're going to break down the top reasons why your budget isn't working, and more importantly, what you can do to fix it for good. By the end of this video, you'll have a completely new perspective on managing your money, one that's less about restriction and more about intention. So, let's dive into the first and perhaps biggest reason your budget is destined to fail. It's just too restrictive. Think of it like a crash diet. You can eat nothing but kale and quinoa for a few days, but eventually you're going to crave a slice of pizza. When you create a budget that cuts out every single thing you enjoy, you're setting yourself up for failure. A budget that has no room for a coffee with a friend, a new book, or a movie night is not a sustainable plan. It's a punishment. Human beings aren't robots. We need a little joy, a little spontaneity. When your budget forbids all fun, you're more likely to rebel against it, overspend in a moment of weakness, and then abandon the whole thing altogether. The solution? Build fun money right into your budget. Give it a name, your joy fund, your sanity allowance, whatever you like. By allocating a specific amount for guilt-free spending, you're not cheating on your budget, you're following it. This simple shift in mindset can make all the difference. The second major roadblock is creating an unrealistic budget. This often happens when we base our spending plan on who we want to be, not who we actually are. You might tell yourself you'll only spend $200 on groceries this month, but if your past 3 months of bank statements show you consistently spend $500, that $200 goal isn't just ambitious, it's pure fantasy. It's crucial to be honest with yourself. Before you set any numbers, go back and look at your actual spending from the last 2 or 3 months. Where did your money really go? This isn't about judging your past choices. It's about gathering data. Once you have a clear picture of your real-life spending habits, you can create a budget that's based on reality. From there, you can identify 1 or 2 areas where you can realistically cut back instead of trying to slash everything all at once. Small, incremental changes are much more likely to stick than a complete financial overhaul overnight. Next up, let's talk about the set-it-and-forget-it trap. Many people believe that once the budget is made, the work is done. But a budget isn't a static document. It's a living, breathing tool that needs regular attention. You wouldn't just point your car in the right direction and then close your eyes, right? You have to keep your hands on the wheel and make constant small adjustments. The same goes for your finances. You need to check in with your budget regularly. This could be daily, weekly, or at the very least, a couple of times a month. This regular check-in allows you to see how you're tracking against your goals. Are you overspending on takeout? Are you under budget on gas? Catching these things early allows you to adjust. Maybe you decide to cook at home for the rest of the week to balance out the extra dining expenses. Without this regular review, small overspends can snowball into a massive budget blowout by the end of the month, leaving you wondering what went wrong. Another common pitfall is not having a clear why. Why are you budgeting in the first place? If your only answer is because I should, that's not going to be a very powerful motivator when you're tempted to splurge. Your why is your financial North Star. It's the emotional driver behind your goals. Are you budgeting to save for a down payment on a house? To finally pay off that nagging student loan debt? To save up for a dream vacation to Japan? To build an emergency fund so you can sleep better at night? Get specific, visualize it, create a vision board or write your goal down and stick it on your fridge. When your budget is tied to a meaningful, exciting goal, it transforms from a list of restrictions into a roadmap to your dreams. Every dollar you save isn't just a dollar not spent, it's a dollar that's getting you closer to that home, that freedom, that adventure. When temptation strikes, you can ask yourself, is this purchase more important than my dream? Usually, the answer will be a resounding no. Let's also address the all-or-nothing mindset. This is the financial equivalent of saying, well, I already ate one cookie, so I might as well eat the whole box. With budgeting, it looks like this. You overspend in one category, maybe you went a bit over on your entertainment budget for the month. Instead of acknowledging it and moving on, you throw your hands up and declare the entire budget a failure. You stop tracking, you start spending recklessly, and you promise yourself you'll start over fresh next month. This cycle gets you nowhere. You need to give yourself grace. One mistake, or even a few mistakes, doesn't invalidate your entire effort. The goal is not perfection, it's progress. If you go over budget in one area, acknowledge it, see if you can adjust by spending less in another category, and then get right back on track. A successful budget isn't one that's followed perfectly, it's one that you stick with, even when you stumble. Another huge reason budgets fail is that they don't account for irregular expenses. We're great at planning for monthly bills like rent, utilities, and our phone bill, but what about the expenses that only pop up once or twice a year? Things like car registration, annual subscription renewals, holiday gifts, or vet checkups. These are budget busters. They arrive unexpectedly, or at least we act like they're unexpected, and they can completely wreck a month's financial plan. The solution is to create what are called sinking funds. A sinking fund is essentially a mini savings account for a specific, known future expense. You calculate the total cost of the expense and divide it by the number of months you have until you need to pay it. For example, if your car insurance is $1,200 a year, you would save $100 every single month for it. That way, when the bill arrives, the money is already there, waiting. It's no longer an emergency, it's just a planned expense. You can create sinking funds for anything: new tires, vacations, Christmas presents, you name it. Finally, maybe the budgeting method you're using just isn't right for you. There's a whole world of budgeting out there beyond the traditional line-by-line spreadsheet. There's the 50-30-20 rule, where you allocate 50% of your income to needs, 30% to wants, and 20% to savings. There's the envelope system, where you use physical cash in labeled envelopes for different spending categories. When the cash is gone, it's gone. There's also pay yourself first, where the first thing you do on payday is transfer money to savings, and then you're free to spend the rest. Or maybe a zero-based budget is what you need. Don't be afraid to experiment. If the super detailed spreadsheet is overwhelming you, try a simpler method. If the envelope system feels too restrictive, try a budgeting app. The best budgeting system in the world is useless if you won't stick to it. The key is to find a method that aligns with your personality, your lifestyle, and your goals. It might take some trial and error, but finding the right fit is a game changer. So, let's recap. Your budget is likely failing because it's too restrictive, it's unrealistic, you're not reviewing it regularly, you lack a strong why, you have an all-or-nothing mindset, you're not planning for irregular expenses, or you're using the wrong method. The good news is that every single one of these problems has a solution. It's about shifting your mindset from restriction to intention, from perfection to progress, and from a generic plan to a personalized one. Budgeting isn't about telling yourself no. It's about telling your money where to go so you can start saying yes to the things that truly matter to you. I hope this has been helpful and gives you the confidence to try again, but this time with a new strategy. What's the biggest budgeting mistake you've made? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks so much for watching, and if you found this video valuable, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more content to help you master your money. See you in the next one.